How are you doing, green industry business leaders? This is episode number one of the Green Industry Profits podcast, where we talk about how green industry companies can grow in a profitable way. In today's episode, we had a conversation with Shawn Scott and Nelson Trejo of Nuvoro Landscaping. We dive into how they utilize their years of experience working at larger landscape companies, tips on building a great culture within your organization, numbers to track, challenges they faced as they've scaled their company, why their business partnership works, and much more. And before we dive into the episode, just a quick note that this podcast is brought to you by Cycle CPA, a remote accounting firm that works specifically with green industry businesses. For more information, go to cyclecpa.com. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode. All right, so super excited to have Shawn Scott and Nelson Trejo here with Nuvoro Landscaping, and this is going to be a pretty cool episode. Pretty amazing growth these two have been leading this year within their company. So thanks a lot for joining us, Nelson and Shawn.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And so I guess maybe starting with you, Shawn. How did you get into the landscaping industry?
Well, several years ago, we were living in Charlotte, North Carolina. Time to move to Richmond. My wife is from Richmond, so when we got here, I didn't have a job. So she saw some trucks from a large landscaping company. She said, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you get that a shot?" So I kind of jumped in both feet, worked my way up the ladder, started in a truck, kind of just figuring out what this business was all about, and eventually worked my way up. Met that handsome young man who happens to be my partner, and over the years we kind of forged a pretty strong relationship, and a year or two, about 2 years ago, we decided like, hey, it's time. Let's go out and see what we can do. We can think we can impact the industry, especially in the Richmond area. Kind of give it back to the basics, and that's what we did. We kind of jumped out there and got it started.
Very nice. No, awesome. And Nelson.
Yeah, so my career began in 2011 for a small local company. And from there, I went to, it was called Tuckahoe. They were once the premier company here in town for a number of years. But no growth, smaller company, family owned. From there, I venture out into Brickman. And now that's how me and Shawn eventually met. But from Brickman is where I got to see the world was really big in our industry. And from Brickman, from a team lead to a crew leader, and multiple other positions as well in the company. Even in the merger, at Brightview, me and Shawn, we became really good friends throughout the whole journey, to where when I left Brightview in 2021, I went to work for ECF for a year. Another great journey, helped me broaden my perspective into our industry. And then me and Shawn came together in 2022, that summer, and we just, said to each other, we can do it better. We can do it better by doing the basics. It's not complicated. It's not no elaborate science to what we're doing. So I've learned a lot in my years of doing this. I've met a lot of good people that I call friends these days. But without Shawn, I won't be here in this business venture. I needed his season, his wisdom, to and even his confidence to give me confidence to do this business venture, and no regrets. From launching the business to where we're at now is pretty incredible.
Absolutely. No, it is, and that's a great journey there. And starting with, working with a partner and kind of making that decision, kind of branching out, and starting this company, what were some considerations there? Whether you were going to go out on your own versus, kind of deciding to partner up. um, and obviously, you guys are killing it right now. But what kind of, what did that look like earlier on?
I don't think we do this without the other.
Yeah.
But it's been that way from the very beginning. We knew prior to being partners, we were friends before we were business partners. We knew how each other thought. We're aligned in a lot of ways. Jokingly, I say I'm Omar 20 years ago, right? So, like I understand what makes him tick. He understands what kind of gets me going. Um, there aren't all similarities. There's some yin and yang there, but we just don't. This doesn't happen without the other. There was a lot of consideration put into it. Um, but once we said go, and we're a lot alike in that, it was go. There's no turning back, right? And,
Yeah.
and we, we we pride ourselves on being bulls in the china shop, kind of no holds barred, take no prisoners, compete. All of these things are things that kind of drive us and push us forward. And I know, and I was telling someone this the other day, I can disappear for 2 months and this ship will run the same way, whether I'm here or not. Then I'm sure Omar has that same confidence.
Yeah, to add to Sean's statement there, it just felt right, Joe. The energy, once we said go time, we knew our place. And our roles are constantly evolving, but me and Sean tackle almost everything together, from our sales goal to operations, efficiencies, quality, hiring programs, there's nothing that we don't talk about. So we don't really bump heads at all when it comes to running the business. We do have our minor disagreements about maybe a price difference, or maybe, why prioritize a certain service or versus a different service. But we're so aligned together, and it's natural. It's not forced. And for me, I need someone older than me, someone more seasoned, more calmer, more wiser than me, because I am a loose cannon. I can be pretty wild and say things I shouldn't say. So with Sean, he brought that peace to me. So around him, always calm. I think more. I analyze situation before I speak. And then for me too, was another piece of the puzzle was math. Sean is a math whiz, right? I'll tell him a number randomly. Hey, what's this times this? Is that okay? Got it. So I bring the energy operation sales part. We both do, but Sean brings financial literacy. And that was the key to this success that we have now. So together, without Sean, this would never be where it is now.
That's great. It's, finding kind of that piece of the puzzle that can really, help to explode the growth for both of you guys. And have you found that also, and we're going to get into some of the challenges, that come with scaling a company quickly. One of the things that I've seen, in different conversations within the industry is, sometimes it helps just kind of from an emotional level, and just kind of getting through the challenges, having someone to kind of go to, when times do get tough, when, maybe a key employee leaves, or maybe there's an issue with a certain customer, right? Having someone to kind of bounce those issues off of. Is that something that you've seen as well?
Uh, like we constantly lean on each other. Especially when things get tough. There are times when Omar's not happy with me, or vice versa. But the best thing about it is we don't let that linger. We don't leave the office with that. That day it's handled and it's over with.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are challenges from time to time, but there's far less challenges than there are appreciation for each other and the job we get done. We don't compete with each other. We're competitors, but we don't keep score. So that's the number one thing I think in a partnership. Like when you start doing that, then you start fraying at the edges. So we don't ever attack it that way. I think that our age difference kind of helps in that way. I think if we were the same age and we're trying to do this together, I think, we like the light, we would want that on ourselves as opposed to Navarro. So I think because of that, it really works. I look
Very
at
nice.
Thane and Scott, our age differences, their age difference is about the same as Omar and I. And you see the chemistry in them. I think
Yeah.
Omar's chemistry and mine are basically the same way. The things that I've been through, and he's got that passion and fire that I can't charge up every day. I don't have the battery in my back like I used to. So he sometimes I just have to kind of follow his lead when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe, it's, sometimes we do have our disagreements, but it's not with the big things. It's not with, our debt
Yeah.
or equipment purchase. It's not with the big things. It's with small things that it's the way of thinking, right? It's the way we have the same goal in mind, but two different approaches. So sometimes, my approach to Shawn doesn't make sense, or he don't like it, or vice versa. And then I do push back, but then when I realize, I'm like, hey, it's the same goal. We're
Yeah.
just coming at it differently.
Yeah.
So we always find that common ground. We never go home pissed off and mad at each other. And even when we are upset that day for 5, 10 minutes, it's momentarily. It doesn't last. We
Yeah.
don't have bad days here that last forever. Actually, our blessings are more than our negatives, than our falls. So for us, it's been so well to work together because, I do go, for me, it's always go, go, go. I'm always am thinking. And sometimes, I'll drag Shawn with me. We're just, all right, let's go. I go for the ride. And then other
Yeah.
times, actually recently, I think about 7 days ago, I was about to do something very stupid. And Shawn said, hey, don't do that right now. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just, all right, man. So, I just shut up my mouth and I just sit down. Okay, fine, cool. So it's a very raw chemistry. It's a brother thing.
Yeah.
I love Shawn as a brother. I never had an older brother nor a father. So for me, it's like, man, I had this guy who was my older brother that if I leave today the business for a number of weeks or a month, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's gonna run with the same level of efficiency and culture in place.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think it's kind of one of those things approaching the situation and running the company, understanding up front that there is going to be problems and issues that come up, right? And I think that's a great point you guys made. And, you know, understanding that, listen, we're striving for the same goal here. We're both on team Nuvoro and, trying to work together to get there. Now, another interesting thing, you you guys have a good amount of experience within the industry before you had started on your own, which is something that is different than a lot of companies, right? Where they may have no experience within the industry or very limited, even not as much, um, even management level or just leading crews, different things like that. And I feel like it definitely helps to for companies to grow even that much more faster, right? When they do have that experience. Now, what are some things that you guys have picked up on from your past experience at some of the other companies that you've kind of carried into Nuvaro?
Tried to take the good from every situation and implement that into what we have here. We are not here today speaking to you if it weren't for Brightview. It's no secret that's where we came from. Um, it taught us a lot about processes, about systems, and if you use those the right way, you will be able to build a successful business and you will be able to grow at a rate that's probably not characteristic. There's a term out there for people who are from privilege, right? It's like, okay, that guy was born on third base. It's almost like we were in this instance because we were so far ahead. The things that people struggle with, the day-to-day things, we speak to a lot of different landscape owners. And some of the things that they've had to learn that's taken them years to learn, we already knew. So we were ahead of the game, and it's in large part to where we came from. I'm not a career long landscaper, so I've been in sales. I've done a litany of different things, but when it came to learning how to run a landscape business, that's why, because where we came from.
Yeah, and even our eyes to detect the quality that went to deliver. It comes from Brightview and Brickman's training, and that program that was developed and that we actually as well, ourselves, me and Shawn, we were the ones to train other managers across multiple regions of how to lead your people, how to keep your culture alive, how to see the quality, the detailed part that people don't see every day. So from goals to efficiencies, from goals to have sale goals, P&L, a monthly meeting in regard to financials. It's all came from Brickman and Brightview. We took the good and just made it better. We didn't, reinvent the wheel here, and it's worked. And yet we are ahead than other companies are in many facets, including technology. We knew from the beginning that we had to have multiple pieces here, an accountant that's understand our industry, which is you guys, right? You and Carla. But number two, software, CRM, to track all of our data. So benchmark the data. We had to benchmark it, right? So, we have a software we use that we like so far, and everything is in that one place, from our customer contacts, our contracts, our sales, our sales goals, our different revenue streams as well, from irrigation, enhancements. All these things is what we've gathered, but the biggest thing was that I think for both of us, me and Shawn, really took away from this, from that world. At one point, they had a phenomenal culture. They care about people. And we knew that to be successful, we had to care about people and have a good culture in place. So hiring the right people versus just hiring just to have a body. I'd rather have an empty seat that costs me no issues than versus having somebody there that brings in issues all the time. So it was an amazing journey, but we can do it better and just fine tuning those processes and SOPs.
Very nice. And yeah, I would imagine that those larger companies have those systems and the processes, right? And then it's, what I find interesting and just looking at some of your social media posts and different things like that, and how you guys treat your people, right? Um, what are some specific things, or kind of how do you approach that side of it when it comes to building your culture and really trying to attract talent and retain people as well? What is your approach?
Number one, everything, right, is about relationships, right? It's cliche, everybody uses that term or that word, but we believe it, right? Every morning, there's not one person in that yard that we don't personally greet with a handshake and a hug, right? So you start the day that way, every day, no exceptions, right? So we greet them all, we talk to them all, we know their names, we know their families' names, we know how many kids they have. All of that is a crucial part of us getting to know our team and them getting to know us. We're here every day when they come in. That's very important. We need to know how the day went. Right? We're not absentee owners where we're clocking out at 3 o'clock going to the river or something. We're here. Right? We see them out in the field. Right? It's difficult. Right? We have a lot of things to do, but that's what we took on as business owners. And so we want to make sure that our teams feel that they're a part of this family and this team. We've set up a leadership council, right? Of not team leaders, team members, right? So we have a handful of team members, our most tenured guys. They come in and they let us know problems they have, what's working, what's not, and what we can do to get to do better. They have a voice, right? So that feeds into our culture. They can let the rest of the guys know out there and gals that this place is for the people because they listen to us, right? We're just not arbitrarily making decisions that they have to live by. So and then from just a financial point of view, it costs a whole lot more money to constantly replace people than it is to just keep the ones you have. You hire them for a reason. Let's make sure that they're here, that they get immersed in what we do, and that they become valued team members and they bring that value home so they can take care of their families.
Yeah, and to add to that, Joe, from our culture standpoint, it's very strong. Foundation is our people, and without our people in the field and how we treat them, we wouldn't have grown this fast. We've grown because our people do great work, but they enjoy coming to work every morning. So they're already here smiling, with a positive attitude. And we go out there and hug them and, hey, good morning, what's going on? Those things matter. The very small things matter versus just, a simple black and white situation. It's colorful out here. And then from there, we do offer, our pay scale a little different, our structure for pay scale. We do is what we did create a ladder structure. So versus an employee getting a raise, a dollar raise right now, it's a ladder structure. So if you get certified on equipment, on spraying herbicide, that raise comes in automatically. So they see that ladder already on our information board outside. If you want more money, this is how you get it. You have to learn these things, do these things, right? Get certified on equipment, on herbicide knowledge, versus just, hey, I work good, I want more money. Well, they have to bring value as well to our team versus just working hard every day. So from our pay structure, our benefits as well program is pretty good. We offer vacation to our team members, pay holidays, sick days, things that many big companies don't offer, and our team are the foundation of this business. So from our benefits program to our pay program, to giving our team members a voice, that's very powerful because they now have a voice to speak up and share with us, what's working, what's not working. So
Yeah, no, awesome stuff. And yeah, it sounds like you're really building a place where they can build a career, and really see, okay, what does that path of growth look like for me within your company? I thought the leadership council was a great idea as well. Because I think that's something, even myself, and I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way, but sometimes when you have worked at a larger company in the past, you feel like you have some ideas and you have things that you want to contribute, but it's not maybe being listened to, and it's not, you're maybe not getting the attention there. And I think with some of the larger companies too, especially as you get higher in management, I feel like, you know, some of the employees in the field in within this industry, for instance, I think that sometimes they're almost viewed as, okay, what how much revenue can they produce, right? Or how much revenue can a crew produce? When yes, that may be the financial result, but that's not what's going to, drive them to, ultimately put in a good effort for the company. So
Joe, we both realize that, our teams work hard. All right, that's no question. But they work hard just to work hard or with a goal in mind. So we give them goals. We tell our team leads, hey, this is your strong skills you have. Here are your weak ones. We see you heading to being our future production manager or account executive, whatever it is. We tell that team lead, hey, this is the goal to hit. Let's hit it together. Let's help you. Let's coach you throughout the way. So they're seeing now from an early stage in the business, we're going to keep growing. You are the future. I'd rather promote in-house than hire from outside the organization. So we give our team members as well a clear path. And we already detect and we already see, okay, these team members here have the ability to be more, to grow into a leadership position. So we're grooming them already from a very early stage and giving them a goal to hit. So their ideas, are valued. They feel valued and appreciated, and they know that, hey, we're coming to work for more, not just cutting grass and go home. That's where it begins to get salty, the culture. There's no goals, no one moves up, or if it does, it's the wrong person, or they're hiring someone from the outside organization. So make sure that our employees feel valued and appreciated, have a voice, that we do see more in them. That's key to our success as well.
We try not to make our people feel like they're just assets, right? they need to feel like they're a part of something, and hopefully they feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. So we go out of our way to make sure that, because in the past we know people have felt like that way. So you're a person with a face, a name, and someone we're relying on to help us go forward. And we've implemented structure, accountability, and discipline because that's what people want. They may not know it or they may not say it, but that's what they need to succeed and do better.
Yeah, very nice. No, I totally agree there. And now with with growing a company quickly, you know, I guess what are some things that I guess more to the accountability topic? Um, Now, do you ever share numbers with the team in regard to the financials, or I guess what is your approach with kind of holding the team accountable?
100% transparency. Yeah, we don't hide anything, right? And that's part of our culture, right? That's We preach that to our customers, right? We're gonna be transparent at all times. If we did something wrong, we're gonna own it, right? If you think we did something wrong, we didn't, we're gonna let you know that it wasn't us, right? It's part of, again, relationship building. So if they want, some people have zero interest in it, so we're not gonna make them learn about our numbers. But if they do, they want to know, we let them know, right?
Yeah,
So there's no hidden agenda. Each team carries a certain amount of revenue with them per day. That's on our team's spreadsheet. This is what your team does on an annual basis. That's how much revenue you guys are worth to us, right? And they can see it. And then once they start figuring that out, some of them are very, very shrewd. All right, our truck is this much, equipment costs this, our salaries are here. There's not a whole lot of meat on the bone left. I see why they're saying they want us to be efficient, right?
yeah,
So there are folks who get it, some who don't care, but that's okay. The ones that do, they understand it.
yeah,
Yeah, we do share a lot with our team leads, and they might ask us, hey, why am I not a 5-man team? Well, we tell them, hey, well, here's your revenue, here's your jobs, here's your margins. Let's put it on the screen together, see it. And then we have them tell us, what do you think? Can your route sustain a fifth person? They see it. No, it cannot. Say, exactly. So let's
yeah,
try keep getting better, more efficient with our services and just being creative in the field, right? Not just be so monotonous and just focus on mowing grass. This week's a perfect example. It's in the 90s here. If you're mowing grass this week, you're wasting precious time that can be focused on detail and spraying for weeds, right? So, we make sure that they see all that information, and even from our managers, we show them, our report that I actually get from you guys, of how much money we made Q1, how we're trending, our overhead costs, what we can improve on. They see it all because they have to know that we're being transparent in regards to our financials. Our goals are clearly as well seen and visible for them to see it and know, okay, this is our goal for this year or this quarter. We hit it, we missed it. Why? So again, it's just transparency. When we just show people that we're not hiding anything,
yeah.
they appreciate it more.
Awesome stuff. And whatever you guys are comfortable with sharing, and if you're not, that's totally fine. But I guess in regards to those goals for whether it's revenue per crew or maybe just a margin goal or anything like that, do you have any numbers there that you're that you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, we build in. It's interesting you asked that because where we came from was a completely different model. Everything was to EBITDA, right? But so we had to kind of recalibrate how we determine success. So and our benchmark is make sure that the company eats. We need 10%, right? And if we start there, we'll be fine. So that's basically where we are. Everything in from every estimate we build, everything is we're at 10%, and that's not look that's not something that's a secret. That's probably pretty much industry standard. If we can get it. So we start there. then per team, it just depends on how many people are in the truck.
Yeah.
We have some teams that do almost 400K in revenue. Every team we have is between 300 and 400 grand in revenue per truck. So some of them do a lot better. There's some teams that we can send out of here with one less guy and he's still going to get it done. I think when we built this, we had what we felt were managers inside of every truck. And it really helped us grow because we didn't have to run behind them. They were getting it done on their own. They were basically they didn't need the supervision or the daily supervision, and that really helped us grow. Omar and I can get out there and sell. Yeah. So, and we basically kept that model. We have a few crews that need a little more help, higher touch, but that's what's really helped us grow. It's been the team. People say that again, cliche, but we don't grow without them. They understand the mission and they carry it out.
Yeah. No, that's
And our growth, we do have goals in place, right, for our sales and stuff team to achieve every month, every quarter. And could we become greedy? Yes. I've seen businesses become very greedy, and they can set, they can bid $2 million or more, and win all of that. But at what cost? At what cost to your business reputation, to your people? Is that even worth it, right? So we're very Shawn and I are very conservative. We do have goals this year to achieve, from ancillary sales. We're projecting to hopefully be between 500, 800 grand in just ancillary sales. That includes irrigation and hardscape work and all ancillary sales. And then from our recurring revenue standpoint, we stopped saying no to work in April of this year. And some customers say, oh man, I need you guys. Yeah, thank you. But, if we get greedy and we just take on revenue because pay is there,
yeah.
nah, we'll lose we'll lose our quality, our efficiencies, we'll lose our reputation as well.
Yeah.
And so far, that matters more to us than just revenue. So this year we're trending in a very positive way. We our goal is 10%, but we've been above that. So it's been a blessing to see that we are above the entry standard. But the same thing, we don't invest money into ourselves. To me and Shawn, it's all back in the business. So when that money is back in the business, it can help us grow the business. So multiple levers we pull to hit those 10% or above 10% profit goals. And so far we're moving in a direction.
Awesome stuff. No, and again, whatever you're willing to share is fine. But I think it would be really neat to kind of look into just kind of, I guess, where were you guys at last year? Maybe team size or revenue or whatever you're willing to share versus this year, and kind of your goals moving into the future.
Last year, with a 12-person team, we were we were north of seven figures. And all in, we were probably, would you say, more like 1.4, I think. And then this year we've more than tripled our staff, and we'll more than triple our revenue. So we have 42 people that are in the field, and that doesn't include, we did hire two exceptional managers, and we promoted someone else to become a manager, so they don't count as out in the field personnel. And then and someone internally also to help with just kind of help with our administrative stuff. So yeah, we'll triple that, and then like Omar said, we had to put a blanket on it. I think we forecasted pretty well. We kind of hit our targets coming out of 23. So we staggered our employee, like people coming on board. Onboarding was maybe two people a week to kind of ramp up to where we are now. Because trying to indoctrinate that many people at one time into a culture is tough. So we just two people at a time, either every week or every other week until we got to our current head count. And we probably overhired some, which again, which kind of strategic because everyone's not going to be a fit here. So we knew that we would have to exit some folks, and unfortunately that's happened. But the team we have now, we're very confident we had the right people in place.
Yeah, and I think if we talk about our initial start, Joe, it's incredible, man. We had no private money, no loans from the bank. It was all Shawn and I, our personal cash, our personal savings. And from August of 2022, we had no proof of concept, no shop, no shirt, no brand, nothing, just our reputation. And we go in the market very quietly, discreetly. We make some phone calls, Shawn and I, to key customers, and we tell them, hey, we're back in the game. Okay, send me your information, send me your business website, card, all that stuff. From August of 2022 to December of 2022, we bidded $1.5 million. We secured $500,000 to start January 1st of 2023. We hired our first 5-man team in December of 2022. All right. So it was all planned. And this is not just luck. This is Shawn and I countless hours together in my home, in his home, sitting down, discussing our plan. We couldn't pay for labor, in August and September. So we had to stagger it and the plan and be creative in how we bring in revenue in to pay for our team. So we secure the revenue for a 2023 launch. We secure our first truck and trailer. We secure a location. We buy equipment for snow as well, because we thought we'll get some snow last year. We didn't. But we kept growing. So from 500 grand of January to April of last year, we went to 700 grand. We kept growing every month slowly, picking and choosing the work we want. Number one, but also the customer had to trust us. We're a new business, coming into the game and, into the industry, and you have all the other companies here who already are established, who already have resources, who already have BDs and brand and all that stuff that we don't have. But, I told Shawn, say, hey, let's leverage two things here. Leverage relationships, people who we know, customers, number one, and number two, social media. Let's bombard it. Let's get our name out there. Let's show them that we're serious players, that we do know what we're doing. So we were in July of last year looking at our financials, and we're 800 grand recurring revenue to end the year at 1.4 with 12 people in the field. And Shawn and I, as the BDs, operations managers, account executives, whatever, all these hats.
Yeah.
It's an incredible journey. And again, we had a rough patch in August of last year, Joe. That's where you guys came in and helped us out. We were in a very rough patch, September, August of last year, and we were both very nervous, and we sat down, Shawn and I, talked about it, put it on paper, and September into October, it just started to, we bounced back. And now this year, we tripled the company, but we had to stagger our growth, stagger our hiring, to make sure that our culture remains intact. Not an easy thing, man. Not easy. We will be in the office for 13, 14 hours, Shawn and I, and discussing ways to get better, discussing, what our next step is for the summer, for the fall. It don't change. Our world don't change. Like, we know that next year in January, prepare for snow, prepare for spring cleanup. It's, our world don't change so much, but we still have to sit down and plan about it, discuss it, put it on paper. So it's been
Just to interject really quick, Omar. I think last year, because you touched on something I was thinking of, last year, June or July, I think it was, we're ramping up to go get it, right? We're gonna bombard the area. We're gonna be knocking on every door. People are gonna get tired of seeing us. We're gonna go out there and go get and bring in all this business. And then like Omar, hold on, let's just wait. We're doing a nice job out there. Think some of it'll start. I think it'll just come to us, and that's what happened. Like we didn't do any real solicitation or any work last year into this year. The the work in the field, what our team did, sold our new business.
Wow, that's a great place to
Yeah.
be. And now, what are some of the current bottlenecks or maybe challenges that the company's facing?
I think as we go into next year, we do not want to triple again. All right, so that's number one. So going into next year, just being very strategic on what we take in. I don't know if it's possible from because it's not just the work. Yeah, we can go out there and secure it, but it's again, it's the labor, it's the materials, it's the equipment, all of those things that come with it just aren't feasible for us to do to grow like that again. So we have a pretty conservative sales goal going into next year with hopefully, there won't be any losses. If there is, we'll keep that to a minimal. And then if we can grow another 20, even and that sounds aggressive as I say it, but compared to last year, it isn't. But if we can grow another 20, 25%, I think that's where we would like to land. And
Yeah.
we're well equipped to handle that. Anything outside of that would be tough. So growth, one, that's one thing. And then kind of picking and choosing where we go from not just the area, not just this area. We've been asked to go to other markets, so we have to kind of look at that also. And the bottleneck with that would be, revenue, capital, all of that to kind of make that happen. So we just have to make sure that whatever the next decision is, we do a lot of research on it and we make sure that it makes financial sense for us to go that route.
Yeah, Shawn nailed it. It's the growth we had this year. It can't happen again. It requires a lot of lifting up, and without Shawn, or us working together, it's a miracle what we've done so far. But we now know that next year we can't do this. It's not sustainable for the business. And if we have private money, equity, we probably could do it and acquire the equipment easily. But the labor, when you scale like that fast, the labor is the issue. And we saw it. We experienced, in our previous world, that high, fast scaling, but the quality of service kept declining. The labor ain't the same no more. So for us, okay, how do we keep this momentum going? Hiring the right people. That takes time. You have to vet them out, and this year we ran a little heavy, 4 or 5 heavy. But, we fired 4 people about 2 weeks ago that were bad apples, so, in order to scale next year, we have to be very selective in our labor. We can get equipment. We've made some good partnerships locally with Ford and our equipment as well to acquire mowers and stuff. But labor, it's the more we talk about it and see it, the more we realize, okay, we need to be very selective moving forward in regards to who we attract to the company now.
Yeah, no, this is an amazing journey that you guys have been through in regards to revenue growth and just kind of what you guys be able to accomplish here. Any other last points you want to leave the audience with?
I think we talked a lot about our team and our customers, right, who have been great. The support. I mean, and even every site walk we go on, even almost down to almost every email we get has been positive. I mean, we can't do it without the team, but we certainly can't do it without our customers either. They've been great to us, and I firmly believe we have and a lot of people in this market use the same people, but our vendors they have been great to us, from Kohler Equipment to Jimmy at Mulch Unlimited to Troy at Virginia Green. Again, they make this engine run seamlessly, or they help make it run seamlessly. To you guys, Joe, you and Carla, Bethany, um, you guys have been great to us. What we get from you guys, that breakdown of industry, like where we are as opposed to the rest of the industry, right? And our goal isn't to be at one, two, or three. We want fives in every column, right? And we didn't get to where we need to be until we get to five. And we have some, but we're not there yet. One key was we saw how leveraged we were as far as, and a lot of new companies go through this, equipment. So there was some equipment that we went ahead and then it's not always recommended that you do this, but we went ahead and bought a couple items cash so we to get our leverage to equity now, right? So just little things like that that have really helped. Um, like Omar mentioned earlier, since we've gotten with you guys, we've seen a tremendous difference because there were tangible things we can look at to where we're succeeding and where we are. Yeah, and it's been kudos to you guys. We thank you for all you've done for us and what you guys are doing for the industry as well. We see you guys out there and what you're saying and the post on social media. It's great to have you guys, and we're glad to be a part of your team.
Thank you, Shawn. Yeah, no, and
It,
it's
it,
exciting to see what you guys have been able to accomplish, and being a small piece of the puzzle is pretty cool thing. But how about you, Nelson? Anything you
um,
want to leave with the community?
yeah, Sean mentioned a great point without really saying it, but I'll hone more into it. Um, in our industry, it's become very cutthroat for many of years, an aggressive game to play, and there isn't much support structure out there. And it's could be from various mentalities, right? Old school mentality, right, mindset and stuff. But our industry is changing, and it's changing very, very fast. And as a business owner, as a person, and for those out there, if you run a business, reach out to people, on social media, reach out to us. We're here to help you out. Reach out to you, Joe, and Carla, for accounting needs. It's you're not alone in this industry. We talk to other business owners ourselves, and we pick their brains and we ask them what's working for them, what's not working. Every model is different. We get that, but our goals should be the same. Is to take care of our people and take care of our families and take care of our customers. It's not complicated, but you need people around you who you can lean on, support on, from your vendors to your family to your employees. You're not alone, man. So if you can find that person or people or vendors or other friends online, whatever it is, find them, lean on them, ask questions. You're not alone.
Well said. Yeah, and I think that even going back to the initial conversation with how you guys decided to kind of partner up, whether it's doing something like that, um, you know working with other vendors in the industry, peer groups, different things like that. There's ways that you can kind of feel like you're not on an island, by yourself, when it comes to this stuff. So, and what's the best way for people to reach out if they want to?
Our
Well,
website,
yep.
NuvaroVA.com. We haven't been as active on social media lately, but we'll get back at it. It's you can always ping us on LinkedIn. Right, both of us are pretty active on there. We go on there every day, at least check around, be a little nosy and look, even if we aren't actively posting anything. So those would probably be the best two ways. And our emails are on our website.
Awesome stuff. Well, thanks again for joining me. I know you guys are super busy. So really appreciate it, and best of luck the rest of this year. With the exciting growth and running the company. All right.
All right. Thank you, Joe, for having
Thank
us.
you, Joe, for having us. Thank
Absolutely.
you.